What's good, everyone? Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays, happy whatever. I have another special video today, and I want to talk about why in some cases the iPhone XR might be a better phone to buy over the iPhone 11. Now, I'm not going to lie, this video was kind of hard to do. There weren't really that many reasons, and there's really only one main reason that I found why the iPhone XR could be the better buy. But most of the other things that I listed were pretty much, how the iPhone XR and iPhone 11 are similar, so if you're paying more money or if you're planning on upgrading, there's a lot of similarities between the iPhone XR and iPhone 11 that might make you sway to buy the iPhone XR even to begin with. Now, the screens are almost identical on both devices. I've thoroughly tested, I've owned both of them, I've used both of them, and I can tell you the screens, I think maybe the 11s is a little bit brighter. That's like the one thing that's kind of going around, but since I've been using it and since my speed test, full-on comparisons, all that, I haven't really found that big of a difference between the screens. Like maybe the 11s does get a little bit brighter, but even that, I wouldn't say that's like a humongous cool thing because most of the time you're keeping it like midway. So between both of them, the screens are almost identical, and also the build quality is almost exactly the same on both of them. It's almost exactly the same. Glass on the front, glass on the back, same thickness of the bezel for the most part. The main thing obviously is the back with that dual camera setup on the iPhone 11. That is a pretty big advantage that the 11 has going for it, but the single camera sensor on the iPhone XR is still very, very good. I never found myself like, oh my god, this camera is so bad. Like, it's a pretty capable camera for being a single sensor, and every which way you look at it on the outside, it's almost identical. We have lightning ports at the bottom. I think the thickness is about the same as well. Obviously the iPhone XR cases will not fit on the iPhone 11 because of that dual camera setup, but overall between both of them, the build qualities are almost identical, and also the storage variants, they're the same exact storage variants, 64, 128, and 256. If Apple were to put in a 512 or whatever storage variant of the iPhone 11, that would have been a huge deal. I would have really liked that and probably referred a lot more people to pick up an iPhone 11, but because they're the same exact storage variants, there's not really that big of a reason to go and update to it, So now that we have the similarities out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the main thing that obviously you guys probably already know why I would recommend you to pick up an iPhone XR over an iPhone 11, and that would most certainly be the price, okay? A used iPhone, first of all, an iPhone 11 brand new costs $699 for the base model. A used iPhone XR, a lot that I've been seeing, are going for around $390, less than $400 for the most part for the base model, which is a really good price. And this is for, I think a lot of people think like I'm lying when I say that. You can easily go on eBay, search the lowest price to the highest price, and find the ones that don't have cracked screens, cracked backs, whatever. It's not that hard to do. I understand I kind of have a little bit more experience with that because I buy so many phones. It's a little bit different, but that's usually how I do it. I sort from lowest to highest, and I made a video talking about how I buy the cheapest phones that I can buy all the time. But the price, the value per dollar that you're getting from an iPhone XR over an iPhone 11, it's really not that big of a difference. It's really, you're getting a much better value per dollar on an iPhone XR than an iPhone 11 if you buy it used. Even if you buy it brand new, the iPhone XR costs $100 less than the iPhone 11, and it's a pretty decent amount that you can save by doing that. Now, the iPhone 11 is the better phone overall, whatever, but better price per dollar. I think the iPhone XR definitely wins than that. Battery sizes, they're not too far off either. You have about a 2942 milliamp battery on the iPhone XR and about a 3100 milliamp battery on the iPhone 11. So iPhone 11 definitely is bigger, but not by much. It's just a little bit bigger. And also, if you saw that speed test that I did, the iPhone XR was right behind the iPhone 11, and sometimes I think it even beat the iPhone 11. So there were cases where the iPhone 11 was not as fast as the iPhone XR, and currently, as of right now, the iPhone XR does have better RAM management with its 3GB of RAM over the iPhone 11's 4GB of RAM. As I've been testing it, the iPhone XR is beating it in the RAM management category, which is pretty crazy. It's not up until Apple fixes it in their software, which they haven't fixed yet. My iPhone 11 and 11 Pro still experience that issue, but the iPhone XR does not have that issue. So hopefully it's not a hardware thing. I don't even know how it would be a hardware thing, but hopefully Apple can fix that with a software update or whatever. So RAM management is better on the iPhone XR as of right now. And to kind of end it off, the software updates, obviously the iPhone XR is still going to last a very long time. The iPhone 11 theoretically should last longer, but I think that the iPhone XR could potentially match the iPhone 11 software updates. I think those phones are very closely tied to each other. I think those are, more similar than not similar at all. So I think if any phones were to get the next version of software or whatever, I think the iPhone XR could potentially match the same software lifecycle as the iPhone 11. So that pretty much covers it. Nothing too insane, but those are just a couple reasons as to why I think buying an iPhone XR might be a better purchase than buying an iPhone 11 right now. So that pretty much covers it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it would mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.